Hi guys, thank you very much for coming along. Sorry I'm quite dark, I've broken my ring light and I need to get a new one. So tonight I am going to speak a little bit just about mobility and stretching and the benefits and why we get the tightness. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Obviously I'm not a professional sports therapist, but I have some experience of having injuries, doing a lot of research into these kind of things, but more the main focus is going to be of going through our BODi platform and showing you exactly what's available there, because I think some people just don't realise just how much is available in there to keep your body stretched and mobile, and how short some of them actually are. So let's do this. I'm going to share my screen. I also don't know that if I can see the waiting room when anybody comes in now when I'm sharing my screen. Can't find BODi. Oh my goodness, right, here we go. Right, okay, so we are obviously designed to move in a certain way as humans, and obviously that's evolved a lot since humans first came into existence. We now move in a very different way from what a caveman would move, or you know, people through the ages. And a lot of our muscles have become quite lazy and inactive. One, because we don't use them properly, and two, because we have other muscles that take over from the muscles that we're meant to use. And things like sitting in chairs for extended periods of time, not stretching properly. Like, I come from a generation where stretching was just sort of shoved to the side. You know, you did the workout and then you got on with your day. You went for a run, you didn't really stretch, you maybe had a quick stretch of your calves. And mobility beforehand was certainly not really a thing. You just went through a really quick warm up, especially in a fitness class. Now mobility is quite a bit of a buzzword, which I'm really happy to see. And I hope that people can continue to learn more about mobility and do mobility. So basically the difference is mobility is done before your workout. You're mobilizing and activating your muscles to start using the correct muscles. So I'll give you an example of, again, if you're sitting in at a desk all day, right? So say you're in a 9-to-5 desk job, and you then go straight to your workout, you have been sitting on your butt all day and you're been shortening your hip flexors with sitting in this chair. You've also been sitting on your bum, so your glutes haven't been activated in the slightest. So your glutes are then lazy. So you then go into squats and your legs take over because your glutes aren't firing. And then that affects your hip flexors as well. So that's when people tend to get something called piriformis syndrome, where they feel like they've got pain in their back, in their bum, and running down their leg. It's kind of almost like a sciatica pain. And then people right away think that they need painkillers, or that they've hurt their back, when actually, in fact, if they were to strengthen their glutes, they would, and obviously do the mobility and the stretching and the foam rolling, they would be able to prevent this. Another one on the opposite end of the spectrum is if you do your workout first thing in the morning, have a quick stretch, and then sit in a desk all day, sit in your chair, you've shortened your muscles during your workout, and then you're sitting like that all day. Your muscles are seizing up, they're tightening up, and you're getting this back pain. So lower back pain, not always, this is not like across the board, but a lot of times for people who exercise and women who've had children, lower back pain comes from having a weaker core, and also from having tight glutes, tight hamstrings, and tight hip flexors. So we get tight hip flexors from doing a lot of core work as well. And I can pretty much say that most of the people that are going to watch this call, I'm not saying the people on this call, but the people that are going to watch this call barely pick up a foam roller once a week. And you can't always stretch out these problems. You need to roll them out. You need to do the work before the workout to help activate all the correct muscles. And it's the same with like shoulders and arms, and people get pain in their elbows. I don't know if anyone here's ever had pain in their elbows with lifting heavy weights and think to themselves, oh God, I've hurt my elbows. When in fact, what it's coming from is tight forearms, and they're holding these heavy weights and they're gripping, but they're never doing any arm mobility to sort of loosen off their wrists and loosen off their forearms, and everything's coming right into their elbow, and it makes their elbow feel sore. Hold on, I'm trying to see if somebody's, no, sorry, okay, don't know what I've done now. So yeah, so for example, for those of you who have done 645, you probably know a little bit more about this, because he always spends 10 to 15 minutes mobilizing and activating the joints. So he would always do a bit of mobility work to activate the spine, to activate the core, to activate the legs, and then he would do a little bit of activation where you're doing some dynamic movements to get the correct muscle groups working. We have dominant muscles. So for example, if we're doing upper body work, our upper traps are very dominant, they're very strong, they tend to kick in. So for example, if we're doing shoulders or we're doing upper back, and you feel it in these muscles, your lats aren't firing up, which is just bit down your back, and then you can be prone to injury as well. I don't know if you ever get neck pain after you've worked out. It tends to be that your upper traps are kicking in instead of the correct muscles working. So it's a bit of a minefield for everybody. But what I would say is, before you do your workout, think about what muscle groups you're working, and then find something that's relevant to that. How long do you, I can hear you thinking, how long do you need to mobilize before I work out? I already have limited time. How am I meant to fit in anything else? 5 to 10 minutes is ample if you do the correct things. Obviously, the longer you can do, the better, but it's not feasible in this world where we can do a 30 to 45 minute workout and also have to do half an hour of mobility beforehand. So if you can fit in 5 to 10 minutes beforehand, it also means that you probably don't need to do quite as much stretching at the end. So if you are somebody who likes to have a good long stretch at the end of your workout, that's fantastic. I would not say don't. But if you do some mobility beforehand, you probably don't need quite as long stretching. So that kind of helps out with that as well. Does anybody have any questions? Because I'm talking really fast here. No? Okay. If you don't want to talk, you can also drop them in the chat bar. Somebody said something in the chat. Oh, hi, Menina. Oh, thank you. Yeah, also what also can happen is, for example, here's another example, you think you've got a sore knee, and you feel like you've got runner's knee, or you've just got knee pain. That can quite often come from having tight muscles. So for example, if you feel like the sides of your knee are sore, it quite often comes from tight hamstrings. So your hamstring is 3 muscles down the back of your leg, it's a big muscle. And if they're tight, they go into the side of your knees, and it makes you feel like you've got side knees, sore knees. Or if it's the front of your knee, it quite often comes from your quad. And your quad is 4 muscles. So when they get all knotted up, it leads to pain in the front of your knee. So there's another example. Sometimes you think you've got joint pain, but you've actually just got tight muscles and they need a bit of a foam roll. Foam rolling hurts, okay? I have people all the time telling me they can't foam roll because it's sore. So, and those are the people that need it the most, because the more it hurts, the more you need it. So yeah, and I think once you become more body aware, you'll actually realize, well, okay, maybe tonight I need a foam roll, or tonight a stretch will cut it, or tonight all I need is an Epsom salts bath, which is always a nice one. I wish that happened more often, but that was all I needed. So I'm just going to go through some of the stuff that's available in here, and then what I can always try and do is put together like a list that can be put somewhere for people to use. Any coaches can put it in their team pages or something like that. So one of my very favorite sections for Beachbody for mobility is in the Beachbody yoga studio. So I don't know how much people utilize that. So I'm going to just go down to yoga. Sorry, my MacBook's just a little slow. It's not been very fast. What happened? Right, hold on, guys. Give it a second. Yeah. So, does anyone use the Beachbody yoga studio ever? Oh, yeah, Alina, you do. Okay. So the Beachbody yoga studio is great. So I'll just find out one here. It has a restorative section. Okay, I've obviously went past it. Hold on. Never work with children, animals, or technology, is what I say. Right, Beachbody yoga studio. This is when I should realize how much I need to start closing tabs on my computer. So I think there's loads of great stuff in the Beachbody yoga studio, but what I would say is that if for this, what we're talking about today, the restorative section is definitely the best, and these can be done before or after. So if you get shoulder pain, the shoulder care with Alyssa is great. Some of these are a bit longer, so you would probably do like a muscle recovery after, but for post-workout, post-cardio stretch with Faith and post-workout cool-down stretch with Ted are amazing. They're only 10 minutes and they're really, 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 like, they hit all the muscle groups. But for mobility beforehand, I would say that release the tension with Faith and yoga for low back pain with Vitas are really good for beforehand. And the low back pain with Vitas is really good for afterwards as well. So it's, and don't, even if you've not got low back pain, but you feel like you've got really tight legs, that would be my go-to. I do that probably at least twice a week, every week. And I know that Ludi really likes this one as well. It's such a nice hamstring and glute stretch. So again, it's a really good one for before leg day as well. But all of these are quite nice. Obviously, you don't want to be doing anything that's a million years long, because that would just not happen before a workout. So release the tension with Faith and low back pain with Vitas, or if you find that you get neck pain or shoulder pain, shoulder care with Alyssa is a really good one to do before your workout as well. Then we've also got this, this makes it quite easier for me. We've got this great new section, because obviously we have all the open fit stuff and all that kind of thing now. So we have actually now got a section called, we'll go again, mobility and recovery, if I can get there. I'm going really slow because it keeps bouncing back up. Yeah, so here, mobility and recovery. These XP stretches, if you can see them here, are absolutely amazing. They are really short and they can be done before or after and are great for mobility. So this is the Andrea from the new Sweat and Sculpt program. There's a lovely glute one in there. So if you find that you get sore hip flexors, sore lower back, sore glutes, she's got a glute and hip stretch that can be done before or after. Controlled stretches are great for after, as you all know, and they are nice and short. I don't know if anyone's ever done Total Body Solution before. It's really old and it's really cheesy, but it's got some great stretch work in there as well for people. So there is a lot in there. I am now also going to touch on BODi, because obviously with all the exciting announcements, BODi is going to be a much bigger part of our life from next year anyway, because obviously it's all becoming one platform. BODi has got the most amazing stuff in it. I don't know how much people use it, because I don't really have time to use it for anything with my other workouts. I really like search it for yoga and stretching and all that kind of thing. And there's a trainer called Lindsay Sudell. I don't know if any everybody has used her, but she does a lot of the flexibility training in there, and she's really, really good. So for anyone who hasn't really used this, why is it not moving? Well, it's got a yoga section. Now Pilates, I'm not going to go too deep into Pilates because I don't do a lot of Pilates, but Pilates is also really good for strengthening. So if you're finding that you're getting aches and pains, you maybe need to take some more rest days, but you can have an active rest day and do some Pilates because it's really good for strengthening your back, it's strengthening your core, strengthening your legs. And so it's a really good one as well for muscle recovery. So yoga is where I was going with this anyway. So does anybody here use BODi? Does anybody? Not really. Okay. So when you want to look through yoga, obviously there's so much stuff in there because it's after all the live workouts recorded. But to find what you're looking for, I would go into yoga, and then you've got this little duration button, and you just go to here. So I always go to, that worked, 0 to 20 minutes. And it gives you all little yogas that are under 20 minutes. So, and I find that this is a nice length to especially be starting with, but if you do need something before a workout or after a workout, 15 to 20 minutes works better than like half an hour. You see half an hour and you go, yeah, that's not happening. And there's, again, some great ones. So this is one of my favorites, hip opening yoga. You know, yoga for realignment, yoga for knee health, yoga for sleep. But also you get these flexibility 15s, and they are mostly by Vitas and Lindsay Sudell. And it tells you on them what they're for. And you get some really lovely ones. So Lindsay does ones for mostly for like upper body, and then she'll do ones for lower body, and she'll really have you like doing things to get your glutes firing and to get your back working properly, or to get your shoulder mobility. Like we have a lot of back and forth and all that, to get your shoulder working in its full range of motion. So there's a lot in there. So if you or potentially your clients need something that they can fit in, but they don't have a lot of extra time, then some of these 15 to 21 minute ones are absolutely amazing. Like I've not tried this one, but that would really be good for glute activation. So if you are somebody that sits on your bum all day, then strong BODi you're wanting to work on. So there's lots and lots in there. So that covers the BODi side of it. So if you don't have BODi, maybe next time you're getting a pack, or give it a try and utilize some of that yoga. So the last thing I'm going to cover is foam rolling. Okay, you cannot replace foam rolling with stretching. Okay, it's not the same. So it's really important to release your muscles. So like I said before, you're shortening your muscles when you work out. You need to lengthen those muscles back out. And you can do this with foam rolling. It's called myofascial release, probably not said that properly. And it hurts. And you tend to find that if you sit in a desk job, you need to really do what's called your pocket muscle. You need to do the top of your bum. You need to do your bum. You need to do your IT band and your adductors, because all of those are getting really weak and really tight, and they're pulling on your back. So if you get low back pain, that's where it's coming from. There isn't a section with all the foam rolls put together, but a lot of the programs have got foam rolls. Some of my favorites are 645 lower body foam roll is absolutely incredible. It's so good. I quite regularly do that with the sound off, watching This Is Us in the evening, so that I can still foam roll but still have my guilty pleasure. The 9-week control freak ones are absolutely great. There's you know, the new 600 second workouts from OpenFit. There's a foam roll in there. Bar Blend has got a nice foam roll. 80-day obsession foam roll is amazing. The Lift More ones are really nice. If you're doing Lift More, please tell me that you're doing the foam rolls, because actually don't tell me if you're not doing the foam rolls. And he's got, his foam rolls are actually nice, Joel's foam rolls from Lift More, because they do, he's got a combination of some stretching and then a foam roll, so you don't feel like you've got to do two separate things. I'm trying to think, Lift 4 has got a foam roll. So a lot of the programs have got, I think Transform 20's potentially got one as well. So a lot of the programs do have foam rolls. You just need to go in and have a look. And just because you're doing one program doesn't mean that you can't do a foam roll from another program. If I had to rate which foam rolls are the best in the whole BODi, I would say that anything Amwala does recovery wise is amazing. So definitely have a look at 645 or Range and Repair from the work. He is very good with his recovery workouts. So yeah, you can foam roll beforehand. So see, before you start your workout, if you're really, really sore, I'm not even saying that you have to do your whole body, but if you're away to do lower body and your legs are really, really sore, then just have a wee foam roll of your bum and your legs, because it will help, because it'll get the blood circulating and it'll make your legs feel a bit better, and you'll actually get a much better workout out of it. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. Oh yeah, 30-day breakaway one. Yeah, that's a good one as well. That's got stretching in it as well, which is nice with the loops, doesn't it? So yeah, right. I can potentially put a list of those together. So I'm going to stop talking now, and if anybody wants to ask any questions, that's absolutely fine.
Did I ask a daft question?
Yes.
You know, for the foam roll, I've got one that's like got shapes and stuff, and that really hurt when I tried.
One.
I was in agony with my back. Is it better to take the plain one?
Okay, so you don't foam roll your lower back. You weren't foam rolling your lower back.
No, but it's when I did my back and I couldn't do anything.
Okay.
But that's that foam roll I've got, but I wonder if the plain one's better. I don't know. Yeah,
so the spiky one is quite hardcore. I only pull out the spiky one if I'm really, really sore. So you get foam rollers. So BODi does one, or you get them on Amazon. The foam ones tend to be longer as well, so you've got a little bit more room to maneuver on them.
Okay, thanks. I will look into it, but if it's the legs, I don't know how my legs are going to cope with my lower legs, but I'll try again, I promise.
Yeah, we can even have do it over a FaceTime or something, and I can help you out.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else? Another thing is a Theragun. I didn't realize the benefits of a Theragun until I got a Theragun, and it's very good. And I would say it's again different from a foam roller. Sometimes I like Theragun foam roll my hamstrings and I think they're okay, and then I get Theragun out and wow, they're not okay. So I think everything has its place. I mean, you don't need to get, I think you get massage, not an actual Theragun, but massage guns for a lot cheaper now. But you don't need to rush out and buy anything. Spiky ball as well. Like, so if you've got shoulders, spiky ball works. You get little tiny rollers for your feet. So I don't know if anybody gets really sore feet, but they need some love as well. So yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you.